Hello, people of YouTube. Now, most of you may know the show MLP-FIM, also known as My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. You know, the show for little girls. Well, even though it's aimed towards small children, there is still a large percentage of older male fans who call themselves bronies. In this video, I will explain everything there is to know about bronies. In this video will be a 3-part documentary. So, I think that's all there is to know, so without further ado, now that all that's out of the way, let's begin. Okay, first things first. You may ask yourself, what is a brony? Well, according to Urban Dictionary, a brony is a name typically given to the male viewers / fans, whether they are straight, gay, bisexual, etc., of the My Little Pony show or franchise. They typically do not give in to the hype that males aren't allowed to enjoy things that may be intended for females. Whether they are straight, gay, bisexual, etc. So, some bronies are straight. So all of you who keep saying bronies are gay, stop it, because they aren't. Urban Dictionary just proved you wrong. Yeah. Another question you may have is, where did all these bronies come from? Well, according to Saber Sparks' documentary, The Brony Chronicles, the fandom of bronies emerged from fall of 2010. During this time, when the bronies emerged, they immediately overwhelmed the internet, putting posts of MLP all over the place, on websites, forums, blogs, you name it. Everywhere you looked, there was something that had to do with MLP. When the fandom of bronies was first introduced online, everyone's like, wow, that's weird, really strange, because, well, it seems strange. I mean, male fans liking MLP, doesn't that sound strange? The main reason that it was such a shock to everyone everywhere was because nothing like that has ever happened before, until now. So when everyone emerged, everyone's like, was surprised, because as humans, we're scared of something that's different. So when it first happened, we were surprised, scared. Nothing has happened like that before on that kind of level. Okay? So, but still, despite that, everyone was like confused. It confused society's norms and beliefs, because it's just not deemed normal by what the bronies were doing. In Saber Sparks' documentary, he says that it was it was a bit threatening. And he's right, because when we see something that's not normal and different than what everything else, we feel threatened, don't we? He's right. But he also states that it's childish and feminine to enjoy it. But we're all people, right? We're all the same species. Everyone's different. But despite that, it still doesn't go along with society's norms. But even though it doesn't go along, norms vary from one person to another. Society's norms are an average idea of how everyone should behave and act. But not everyone behaves and acts the same way. So, those norms mean nothing. Because it's just the general idea of what society thinks is normal. But normal doesn't even exist. It's not a real word. It's in a dictionary. It means what is average behavior. But I just said average behavior varies from one person to another. So normal shouldn't even be in the dictionary. You understand what I'm saying? So all that Brony fandom is perfectly fine. It shouldn't be frowned upon because it seemed not normal. It doesn't matter. It's just a part of culture. Looks can be deceiving. You know, the World of Warcraft fandom, the Dragon Ball Z fandom, Sonic the Hedgehog fandom, all those fandoms. Bronies are just another branch of fandom from MLP. So, if the World of Warcraft fandom isn't frowned upon, why should the Brony fandom be frowned upon? It's just another part of culture that Bronies choose to embrace and be proud of. Saber Spark states that by being Bronies, they're challenging society. And they are. Because by going against society, they're displaying that the norms mean nothing. What I said previously. So, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. They're going against society to demonstrate that norms mean nothing. They're useless. So, when something's useless, it's obsolete. It's like air, nothing. Well, the air or something, but still. Challenging society by being a Brony or going against what the norms are is the only way people can make themselves heard. And by being a Brony, you're doing that. Okay? You're going against the norms, displaying that norms are useless and are not right. That norms shouldn't even be norms. Let me show you all a video.
Congratulations.
You may ask yourself, why did I show you that video? Well, you may have noticed that it's from Saber Sparks' documentary, his intro. But that's not the reason I showed it to you. I'm not trying to free advertise here. What I'm doing by showing you that video is showing that bronies put a lot of work into their passion, just like artists and other people who work hard for their passions. Okay? So, as I showed you that, you may have noticed the songs, well, the music, and you may have noticed, if you've seen MLP, you know it's a bunch of different songs mixed together. You see, that video was made by two people. I can't really pronounce their names, so I'm not going to say it. But one did the visual, and just the visual itself is a lot of work. The one who made the music also had to do a lot of work, because getting all those song clips, snipping them at the perfect moment, putting them all together so they flow with the beat, it just takes hours, maybe even days to do that. Okay? I mean, bronies put so much hard work and effort into their passion, and by being offensive and frowning upon them, you're putting them down. Okay? I mean, it's just wrong. I mean, how would you like it if you made a sculpture that took you months to make, and someone comes to you and is like, "Oh, that's crap. You suck, dude. You're never gonna be famous and all that bull." Well, you wouldn't be happy, right? That's basically how the bronies are feeling when you frown upon the hard work they do, just like the hard work I showed you in that video. Now, I think we may be getting a little bit off track from the question, where did the bronies come from? So let's steer this train back on course.
Let me show you guys something. This is Joe, okay? One day, Joe meets his friend on the street, okay? And then they talk. Joe says, "Have you seen My Little Pony?" His friend says, "Yeah, it's pretty bad, right?" Joe is like, "Yeah, it sucks." That would be generation 1, the first generation of My Little Pony. There are 4 generations. So then, the second generation airs, which is, even though generation 2 is really just a spin-off of generation 1. And Joe comes to his friend and says, "Hey, have you seen the new generation?" His friend's like, "Yes." Joe's like, "Yeah, it's even worse than the last one." Then generation 3 comes out. "Oh, wow, worst generation ever." His friend agrees, and Joe's like, "Yeah." But then in comes generation 4, the modern generation of My Little Pony. And Joe's like, "Whoa, have you seen the newest generation?" His friend's like, "Yeah, it's pretty bad, right?" Then Joe's like, "No, it's awesome." Then his friend's like, "But why? It's ponies. It's for little girls." And Joe's like, "Yeah, well, I'm a brony. Deal with it." Okay?
That's pretty much a basic idea of how bronies came, like where they come from. They were normal people who watched the first generations like, wow, terrible. Then generation 2, and the generation progressively getting better, not better, progressively getting worse, until generation 4 came in, which is the modern day My Little Pony that we all know. And during generation 1, 2, and 3 was girls who liked, although no one liked generation 3. But generation 4, dudes started liking it, and that's basically how they became bronies. Bronies came from normal people who just watched the generations of My Little Pony and liked it. Although most bronies nowadays only know generation 4. Me, I got introduced to it during generation 4. Okay, when I watched it with my friend. If you saw my other video. So yeah, I only got introduced during generation 4. Some bronies, however, who are older than me, have seen the other generations. I've seen some of them from YouTube, and I can tell you, they sucked. Okay? In fact, I'm gonna show you a clip from the other 3 generations and then a clip from this generation, alright? Here we go.
Where you go, a smiling face, running and skipping, never tripping, watching the morning unfold. My little pony, what does the future hold? Starring Sandy Duncan and Tony Randall. Look out, Twilight, here I go! Applesauce, anyone? No sign of trouble inside. My little pony, may all your days be bright. May all your days be bright. My little pony, my little pony. Every day is a dream come true. My little pony, how I love to play with you. No way of knowing where we'll be going. Our adventures never end. My little pony, I'm so glad you're my friend. Plan a party with Pinkie Pie. Electric balloons flicker up to the sky. Scootaloo will show us games to play. Tootaloo will be painting them wings. Rainbow Dash always dresses in style. Sweetie Belle's magic brings a great smile. I hope you a story for cheerily. Gonna give the stars all a melody. My little pony, I'm so glad you're my friend. My little pony, my little pony. My little pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you are my very best friends?
Now, here's a video I think that explains bronies and the generations of MLP much better than me.
For one to fully comprehend this pony fascination, let me first sum up the previous of pony generations. Generation 1 appeared on TV in the 80s. It was made to sell toys, plots were hardly very weighty. And Generation 2, I do not mean to grouse and gripe, but these characters fell right into the girly stereotypes. And Generation 3 is just too awful and too tragic. So let's jump to number 4. where friendship is magic. All the characters compelling, and the stellar storytelling, and the lovely animation brought about great dedication. This is where we meet the Bronies, for they like My Little Pony. Yes, the bros enjoy the ponies, so let's go and meet the Bronies. Though the growth in pony fandom might simply seem absurd, true fans adore the show, while others gallop to the herd. For hipster bronies, watching Paso ponies has appeal. Though first it seems ironic, soon enough it's very real. For moderates, the start was humble, finding it through hype, when the bronies did invade their favorite forums and websites. And though first a little skeptical, these moderates inquired, and once they finally saw the show, their love for it caught fire. The core of the meetups and conventions that you see are the social groups that come to BronyCon and ever free. Yes, the moderates and hipsters are the big groups of the bronies. They're the dudes that are the bulk of all the men who like the ponies. Creative bronies are the final bunch you need to know, making music, art, and stories, all inspired by the show. While counting down the days from Season 1 to Season 2, the musicians wrote funky little songs like Pinky's Brew. The pony generators churn out many new OCs, and the artists put their art on Tumblr blogs for all to see. The writers pair their favorites, voicing charming little quips, and although they face some critics, they will go down with their ships. Their talent is their glory, ever growing, never stopping, from the music to the stories and the artwork and the clopping. Oh dear. But let's steer away from that one and get right back to the ponies, for creatives are the final bunch in the wacky world of bronies. Creatives and moderates, and lastly, hipster bronies are the groups that are quite proud to watch the show My Little Pony.
Hey! Forgetting some pony? It seems your little lessons left the fairer sex neglected.
Well, when girls like little ponies, that's very much expected.
Even so, you can't ignore these fillies' contributions. We're involved in brony culture, and we demand our inclusion. We attend all the conventions, create art and music too, discuss the show, talk on forums, everything that these dudes do. No, we're not bros, but we're bronies, though some prefer Pegasisters. And we also are creatives, moderates, and even hipsters.
Well, there you have it. All the bronies. Any pony else I missed? Now, if it's all the same to you, class dismissed.
There you go. Now you should know more about the bronies. But if you don't worry. This documentary is nowhere near over, so I'm still gonna explain a lot to you guys. So yeah, don't worry. Now, let's go on to the next question. You may ask yourself, what does brony mean? The word brony. Well, it's basically a mix of two words. Bro, you know, bro means you're like, yo, my bro. Bro, and pony. Take away the P, put BR, you get brony. So yeah, but despite having bro in it, bronies can still be females, although sometimes they're referred to as Pegasisters. Despite that, they're still bronies. Like, if you watch AC Race Best's React videos, you'll see some bronies there that are females. Yeah. So, brony is basically a mix of the word bro and pony. And females are called Pegasisters too, so. Yeah, in the previous video that I showed you, the Pegasisters are mentioned. Yeah. Pegasus sisters, bronies. Bronies are a mix of bro and pony.
Come on, Twilight, just try.
Now, of course, we can't just simply forget some of the characters that are involved in the show, such as
Well, that's
Twilight Sparkle, Spike, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Applejack,
Do you think it's a good idea?
Rainbow Dash, and Rarity.
Worry your pretty little head about mean old
They're
Auntie Pinkie Pie.
all of them except Spike are the main 6 characters, spelled as in main M-A-N-E, main 6, which the fans have dubbed it as. So, Twilight's basically a nerd, a bookworm, smart, organized, although she's a little crazy. Spike is her loyal assistant that someone I know likes to call him a slave, even though he's not.
Never mind her. She's just being Pinkie
He's
Pie.
basically a
Super
butler,
extra Pinkie Pie today.
but he's also a friend.
You got a little something.
Pinkie Pie is a pink pony
Did your Pinkie sense tell you that too?
who's a little
I can just see it.
loco in the coco. Quote from Pinkie Pie herself. So, she's a little crazy.
Let's hear one.
So yeah, she's obsessed with parties.
Me like that. Louder.
There's
Louder.
Fluttershy, who's soft and quiet. She has a quiet voice. She's very shy, thus the name Fluttershy. She has to care for animals. Who else we got? We got Rarity, who's a fashionista. But she's also generous and nice. She's definitely into fashion. We've got
Uh-oh.
Applejack,
It was a
who's got a bit of a western accent. She works on the farm, Sweet Apple Acres, with her family, Granny Smith, her brother, Big Macintosh, and her little sister, Apple Bloom.
Did my
They buck apples and make apple cider, all apple-based food
Too busy to help me
for
harvest
Ponyville.
What were you busy doing?
She's also very competitive, like Rainbow Dash.
Busy?
And finally, we'll move on to Rainbow Dash, my personal favorite character.
No. We're getting
Rainbow Dash is a blue
back
Pegasus pony with the rainbow mane. She claims to be the fastest flyer in Equestria,
What do we do?
and pretty much she is.
That's her answer for everything.
She controls the weather.
She'll become
She's loyal to her friends, also though very competitive. She's a bit egotistic. She tends to use the word awesomeness a lot. She's 20% cooler, and one of her quotes is 10 seconds flat. Yeah, that's basically the main 6. Now, of course there's antagonists in the show. I mean, how good would MLP be without any antagonists, right? We can't forget about those guys. So, here's a little song about one of those antagonists named Discord, the Lord of Chaos.
I'm not the fan of good ears, but I'm nagging fear. Someone else is pulling out the strings. Something terrible is going down to the spring. I can't do it. No, I can't at all. I'm cursed. The one behind it. Discord. I'm at the moon and sleeping in the middle of the summer's afternoon. Discord. Whatever did we do to make you take our work? Discord. Are we alone? Or we're just we're taking back the round. Discord. We won't take it anymore.
Take it.
Here. I'm fine with changing status, but not in letting go.
Now the world is
Being torn apart. A terrible catastrophe. Fires and bones. What a terrifying work of art. I can't sit idly. No, I can't at all. I'm cursed. The one behind it. Discord. I'm happy at the moon and sleeping in the middle of the summer's afternoon. Discord. Whatever did we do to make you take our work? Discord. Are we alone? Or are we just we're taking back the round? Discord. We won't take it anymore.
Now you may remember from earlier when I said the bronies put a lot of hard work and dedication into their art and their passion. Well, the video I just showed you about Discord was another example of hard work. Same thing, snipping at the right moment, putting it together so it flows, singing it. You just gotta go with the beat. That's a lot of hard work. Yeah. So that's just another example of hard work. Yeah.
We're finally here, but after the hard work and the dedication, the anticipation, the preparation, and all the blood, sweat, and tears, not to mention panic attacks, but this is going to be the best night ever. At the gala, with the fandom, I'm gonna see them all the bronies, all befriend them at the gala. Watching ponies, wearing cosplays, trying pictures big and small. We'll become good friends forever, right here at the gala.
Never take any commission right here at the gala. I'm staring at the camera and I don't know what to say. I was trying to invite my boyfriend to the gala. All the singing, pretty colors. Now I wonder if he's gay, but he's still my favorite brony. Tonight at the gala. Been training, I've been playing to roll that pony rap band. My gamer skills are pretty sweet. If expert arching, you know me. I'll challenge any brony. Face off to man the pony. Feel free to come compete with me here at the gala.
I can't reach my great gala! This music's super loud! I'm screaming and for spaces to be heard within this crowd! And a piece of what ironic if I were becoming hoarse! No shrieking, no screeching, I can't hear at the gala!
At the gala, I'm on Twitter, and I'm sending picture tweets. Funny hashtags go on Reddit, tagging friends is pretty sweet. Now post this all on YouTube once this song's complete. Meet new friends. And social net to meet, to date, to text, time for the gala, time for the gala, and we'll have the best night at the gala.
Okay, so this is the second segment of the video. The culture of My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. First off, let me tell you a little bit about the culture of bronies. Well, there's a bunch of different bronies. We've got hipsters, moderators, and creatives. I am a creative brony. Creatives write stories, songs, and draw art. I do all three. So I'm a creative brony. Yeah. One of the, you could say, rituals for a brony is BronyCon. Yeah. There's also a group called Everfree, which I don't know much about since I haven't done any research on Everfree. Still. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to sum it up. You got BronyCon, there's creative bronies, there's other types of bronies. Yeah. Now, before we go any further into the brony fandom, there are two parts to it. There's the brony fandom and the anti-brony fandom, which is all the haters of the show and everything. So yeah, keep those two parts in mind. Now first let's talk about the to put this in perspective, let's imagine the Brony fandom as a religion, okay? Because, well, religion is culture. So, basically when you think of a religion, you think of rituals, worshipping gods and stuff like that. Brony fandoms, if we turn it into a religion, it's not really like that. It's more kind of like Scientology. It's not really rituals, it's more like beliefs and social gatherings. You know, like pilgrimages, which is religious journeys. There's the Santiago de Compostela, I think it's called. It's from France and Spain. But the Brony fandoms, all we pretty much have as a pilgrimage is BronyCon, which is a convention just like the Otaku-thon and Comic-Con and stuff like that. So, basically, when you think about it in perspective, the Brony fandom can be interpreted as a religion. Now, for the anti-Brony fandom, they're haters of the religion of Bronies. Like, think about it. Ever watch, I don't remember who the singer is, but there was a song where she's burning the crosses. It was banned, the video, because it was counted as anti-religious. Well, basically, that's what the anti-Brony fandom is. It's basically anti-Bronyism. It's basically hating against the Bronies because of their likes. But as I said previously, everyone is different. I mean, not everyone is Catholic or Protestant or any of that. We're all different religions. And the Brony fandom is just like another religion. So, if we can live alongside the cultures that other religions portray, why can't we live alongside in harmony with Bronyism, the fandom of Bronies? So, you come in with there are anti-religions out there that are like the opposite, like they frown upon religions. Like I don't really know any, but let's take for example the belief of Jesus is the Son of God. No offense to any people who are Catholic or whatever out there, but an anti-religion would be going against that. It would be saying that Jesus is a fraud. Like in the story with Jesus, they killed him because they believed he was a fake, that he wasn't real and he couldn't heal anyone. That's basically what an anti-religion would be. And the anti-Bronyism would be the same thing, but going against Brony's beliefs and what they deem as the world and how they view it, by using MLP as a source for explaining the world and how it is today. Now, let's steer toward anti-Bronyism and explain it. So, anti-Bronyism is the downside of Brony's beliefs. There's been many complaints about Brony, such as, dude, why are you liking this stuff? It's for little girls, it sucks, and stuff like that. There's been many complaints. There's a video called Brony Suck. I recommend you check it out. It has a lot more of the complaints, but the complaints are, it's so colorful, it's pink, it's for little girls. Dude, you shouldn't be watching that stuff. Correction, it's not pink. Some parts are pink, but I mean seriously, the whole world, in reality, there's pink in it. And they're colorful, they may be candy-colored ponies, and they don't really exist in real life, candy-colored ponies. But that's just to add more creative to the series, the franchise. Now, anti-Bronyism, they are basically like, we don't go along with your beliefs, you Bronies. It's stupid. The world's not like that. I mean, if you think about it in the past, it's basically what happened. There have been genocides of different religions because of their beliefs. Okay? Now, think about it. Take the Holocaust, for example. It wasn't just about religion, mainly the Jewish. But they were killed because what they saw as a world is different. There have been genocides of different religions because people don't believe it's the right way. But every religion believes what they believe is the right thing, the right way, and how the world is like that. Same thing goes for Bronyism and anti-Bronyism. Anti-Bronyism is sticking along with their own beliefs, whether they were Catholic, Protestant, whatever. Okay? They're saying that whatever religion they are with is the right way, and that Bronyism is the wrong way. But Bronyism is how the Bronies believe the world is, and the anti-Bronyism is their way. So, just like every other religion, it's their own beliefs. So, why is it that anti-Bronyism is targeting specifically Bronyism? Because anti-Bronyism is a group of all those non-Bronies who formed together to hate the show. There have been hater comments, hater forums, hater websites. There's been a rap battle video where a guy says, "I troll Brony sites." And that just explains how completely hidden anti-Bronyism is. You may have heard of Hell's Angels. Well, the members of anti-Bronyism are like Hell's Angels. They are hidden and unknown to the world. Okay? You won't even know if they're in anti-Brony and anti-Bronyism because they won't portray it in public. It's just like Hell's Angels. But Bronyism, the same thing. They're hidden. You won't know unless they tell you. So, you got both sides. Whether anti-Bronyism, which is hidden, and Bronyism, which is hidden. So, the culture, there's a great big conflict which could eventually turn into a genocide if the hating from anti-Bronyism, if anti-Bronyism and Bronyism clash and have a great big conflict. It could cause another genocide. And that is not what we as a society wants to happen. We need to stop that. Now let me tell you a bit about the Brony Suck video. Some interesting things that the guy brings up. The guy in the Brony Suck video, he says that people who watch the show are non-manly, that they're a disgrace to manlyhood. But what is manlyhood? Well, the definition, according to dictionary.com, manhood is a state or time of being a man or adult male person, male maternity, traditional manly qualities. But that still doesn't tell us what is manhood and what's manly, because there's an object called the man box. And the man box states that a man must be tough, have no emotion except anger. But I watched a video on the BronyCon website, and it said that a person said in the video that we need to let men be sensitive, because think about it, some men are sensitive, and MLP brings out the sensitive side in all of us, because it's about caring, friendship, love, peace, tolerance, all that positive stuff in the world that us as a species are lacking. And MLP, the Bronies, they have reopened those specific qualities in our world and are trying to bring it back to life. Without those things, a war could happen again, and we could kill a numerous amount of our population with that. And that's just terrible. It's a goddamn genocide. What would happen if the Bronies and non-Bronies had a war? Okay? Let's assume that happens. Boom. There goes half our population dead. It would basically be the Nazis all over again. And he says that we're a disgrace to manlyhood. No, we're not. What we're doing is opening our sensitive side of being a man. That's what we're doing. And anti-Bronyism is just throwing that out of the reason. Okay? I'm pretty sure the guy in the Brony Suck video is a guy from anti-Bronyism. But his arguments have no base. his arguments have no solid, concrete facts to stand on. So everything he's saying in his video is junk. It's garbage because it has no points or background information. It has no support. So everything he says means nothing. It's just nothing. It's useless. So anti-Bronyism, there may be some good facts, some good concrete solid facts and points about it, but still, it still lacks some key points. However, Bronyism has solid points because they have actually seen the show and have concrete facts and basis for their beliefs. Anti-Bronyism doesn't. Bronyism's facts and bases are from the show itself. Anti-Bronyism's facts and bases are on what other people have to say about the show, what the critics say about the show. So, still, they both have facts, but some facts just don't work with anti-Bronyism, while the facts from Bronyism do work. Now take a look at this conversation I had with a Brony friend of mine on Facebook. Okay, first off, Varnock saying, that's me. So, here's the conversation we had. Varnock saying, can I ask you something? Person X, sure. Varnock saying, what would you define as manly? Person X, Yu-Gi-Oh! Varnock saying, anything else? Person X, MLP, definitely manly. Varnock saying, watch this. Person X, hey, we don't suck. Varnock saying, watch it. Person X, no, bronies don't suck and I know it. That's what a brony would say if you asked them to define the word manly. You see, the brony suck video, he wouldn't even watch because of how offending it seems. Okay? But he would answer what he defines as manly. That's basically a brony friend of mine when I asked him on Facebook recently.